A very warm welcome to the news in details. Now, local residents have been commending parliamentarians for taking the time to visit them, saying the visit helped them to air their concerns and play a greater role in the policies adopted for their development. Take a look.
The parliamentarians took the time to visit a couple that has been struggling with domestic disputes, and the head of the group of MPs talked to the man and his wife on how such issues can be resolved amicably, later noting that if not dealt with early, such matters can and sometimes do end in tragedy. The parliamentarians also visited the project site of the construction of a psychiatric hospital in Chinyinya sector, where questions were asked as to why construction work had stalled for 3 months, yet the hospital is 80% complete. The problem arose from the little time we were given to complete the hospital, as well as the fact that more issues arose during the construction that were unforeseen, so we needed more time to address them. The total lockdowns also affected our work. The parliamentarians also visited a 1.7-kilometer road that was constructed by local residents in Chinyinya, and also held a meeting with them, which the residents commended. The MPs promised advocacy for the issues that were raised during the meeting. The parliamentarians started their community outreach activities on Saturday, and they will continue until the 30th of this month of March.
The National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda has announced that the 5th Rwanda population and housing census will begin on the 14th of June and continue to the end of that month.
People generally understand the importance of a census like that, and those we spoke to on Sunday included some who took part in the trial run that was held last year. They surveyed our houses and asked us things like if we are farmers and if we pay rent for our homes, if we work for wages and if we own domestic livestock. They basically asked about our everyday lives. The government needs to know how many people are in the country so that it can adopt the proper policies. When it comes to those living with disabilities, most are not known. For them to get help, they must first be known through things like that census. The country must accurately determine how many people live in it and if the number is going up or down. We will therefore answer the questions they will ask us. The National Institute of Statistics has announced that the 5th Rwanda population and housing census will run from the 16th to the 30th of June, with preliminary operations taking place from the 11th to the 14th of that month. Officials at the institute have confirmed that everything is going according to schedule with no hiccups, and that the trial run of the census that was carried out towards the end of last year in 600 settlements across the country helped to make important adjustments ahead of the real census itself, most notably the need for the proper use of technology in the process. More than 62,000 primary school teachers applied to take part in the census, collecting the relevant information, and 27,000 were chosen to do the job. Their names are to be made public during this month of March. The first Rwanda population and housing census was held in 1978 and found that the population of the country at that time was slightly more than 4.8 million people, 4.6% of whom lived in urban areas. The next one took place in 1991, finding that the population had increased by close to 2.5 million people, and 5.5% of them were in urban areas. The third to take place was in 2002, registering a total population of more than 8.1 million people, with 16.9% living in towns. That one registered an increase of close to 1 million people since the previous one. The fourth and most recent came in 2012, noting a population of slightly more than 10.5 million people, with 16.5 living in urban settings. Looking at the rate of the country's population increase, the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda estimates that it most likely approached 13 million people last year.
8 companies from Rwanda have been showcasing products at the 2022 Qatar International Agricultural and Environmental Exhibition at the Doha Exhibition and Convention Center. Now, Rwanda's ambassador in Qatar is using the opportunity to invite Qataris to invest in agribusiness here in Rwanda, as the exhibition is a platform for them to see Rwandan produce.
Hi everyone, my name is Charlene Migade and I am the Sales and Business Development Manager at Souk Farms.
It's very important for Bella to be represented here.
We actually export about 20 tons per week.
We ship 4 times a week.
We basically control the entire supply chain, like from the farmers to the washing stations, to the dry milling, to the exporting, marketing, roasting.
We supply our products year-round. So when you work with Souk, you know that from January to January, for most of the products, you would receive them right onto your table. So you don't have to worry about that.
harimo amafu cyangwa se imbuto inanasi ibinyomoro ubutunda busanzwe harimo kandi n'ibitoki bihingwa mu Rwanda ku butaka bw'u Rwanda.
And also we promote our own vegetables and fruits. Of course it is Rwanda fresh and we want that fresh to be everywhere.
We have started to export to West Africa, and of course now we are trying to see if we can export to Middle East, Arab countries.
Within the Middle East, we serve Saudi Arabia, Qatar and Dubai.
Qatar and the Arab world in general, it's a fast-growing coffee-consuming area.
I have got French beans, we have chili, we have passion fruit, and they are all grown on our farms and we can supply as much as clients want.
Byose ni bimwe muri package twabazaniye twaje kumurikira ibihugu bitandukanye twavuye muri imurikagurisha.
And I would love also to have a good packages with them and also improving in terms of quality.
Our expectation from this is to build strong and lasting relationships with customers. So we're always looking for ways in which we could provide our services to a larger wide base. And Qatar provides us that perfect opportunity to be able to do that. We currently do serve some customers in Qatar, but we're always looking to serve more.
Following complaints from farmers in Nyagatare district that 3 types of topical tick medications do not work as they are supposed to, the Rwanda Agriculture and Animal Resources Development Board new types of medication are currently under development and will be ready for use by the end of July this year. RAB has called on the farmers to stop using unauthorized, substandard products and methods when trying to get rid of the ticks on their cows, because that can have adverse effects on the health of the cows. Now, the board says when the new medicines are unveiled, farmers will also be taught how to properly use them. Moving on, farmers who account for the 60% who use quality planting seeds on the country's consolidated farmland of more than 762,000 hectares are commending the way their harvests have increased substantially now that they use modern farming methods. Now, Rwanda's government is committed to ensuring the country's agricultural sector continues to develop by adopting such effective methods.
Rwanda continues to invest in modernizing the agriculture sector for strategic agricultural commodities. For instance, today we are self-sufficient in seed production for key crops such as maize, wheat, soybeans under our crop intensification program. This target of phasing out seed importation was reached in early 2021 as initially planned. Our target is to reach to at least 75% of farmers using quality seed on consolidated land by 2024. Today, there is a good progress as 60% of farmers currently use quality seeds on consolidated land. Our goal as a government is also to increase private sector engagement and to promote market-oriented agriculture.
55% of the more than 3.6 million farmers are yet to modernize their farming practices and adopt approaches like land consolidation, still growing crops on plots less than 0.3% less than a hectare in size, and in most cases not using manure or fertilizers to increase their land's productivity. The government will import close to 48,000 tons of industrial-grade fertilizers to be used during the 2022 B and C agriculture seasons, and will also spend 26 billion Rwandan francs as part of the Nkunganire program to help local farmers get access to quality planting seeds and fertilizers. Now let's head to after the Ministry of Gender and Family Promotion announced that it is providing a handbook that will be used by couples for 6 months before they get married. The youth and various religious leaders say that it is a long period, as even the one before that could take 3 months was difficult for them to take. Take a look. Rwandans who have started traveling between Kigali and Kampala say that everything is going great, both in terms of safety and commercially, although they say they are not pleased with the fee for PCR COVID-19 tests crossing the Gatuna border, which is at 35,000 Rwandan francs. Around 4:30 a.m., a Trinity bus was parked at the Nyabugogo bus station in Kigali, carrying passengers from Kampala, Uganda. This is the 7th day after the resumption of travels between Kampala and Kigali via the Gatuna border. Some passengers who spoke to RBA say that there were no challenges in regards to security or trade, other than the 35,000 Rwandan francs payment for a PCR COVID-19 test required to enter Uganda. We also spoke to Jaguar Bus Company employees from Uganda, and they say that the issue of payment of 35,000 Rwandan francs or 100,000 Ugandan shillings for Ugandans coming to Rwanda continues to hinder their businesses. Similarly, their Rwandan counterparts demanded that the Ugandan government facilitate the movement of passengers between the two countries. The passengers told us that apart from the Gatuna border, other borders to Uganda only charge 5,000 Rwandan francs for a COVID-19 test, and that up to now there is no explanation for that. At the reopening of the land borders on the 7th of this month, the Minister of Local Government, Gatabazi Jean-Marie Vianney, said the issue of being required to pay 35,000 Rwandan francs for the PCR COVID-19 test is due to the measures of the government of Uganda. In general, commuters believe that while they will be facilitated in this cross-border movement, trade will improve the lives of the people of these countries and the region as well. After the Ministry of Gender and Family Promotion announced that it is providing a handbook that will be used by couples for 6 months before they get married, the youth and various religious leaders say that it is a long period of time, as even the one before, which could take 3 months, was difficult for them to take. The Ministry of Gender and Family Promotion has developed a course called Build a Good Home that will be given to those who want to get married for about 6 months before they get married, and will be given to various religions and churches in which they fellowship in. As the ministry, we have made a handbook called Let's Build a Good Home for Module 14, including 4 specifically for those who are getting married. And we want those who are getting married to be trained for the first 6 months. Then when they are going to get married in the sector, they show their certificate that they got from the church that taught them. Young people from all walks of life in different parts of Kigali, from different religions, say that these teachings are good, but have been given a long time. There is no doubt that this will be beneficial, because they wouldn't plan things that won't be helpful to us. The government's plan is 6 months, but personally, I think it's a very long time. The youth agree that the number of months of premarital education should be reduced in a way that the 3 months of church courses would be combined with the Ministry of Gender and Family Promotion courses, because even though these teachings are important, the fact that they take long would cause some people not to take them. My wish was that it should stay at 3 months, whereby the church teachings last for a month and a half, and the state teachings would be done for a month and a half. Hence, joined together would take up to 3 months. According to various religious leaders, the textbook has not yet reached them, and that these months are many because even the 3 months were already difficult to complete. The Ministry of Gender and Family Promotion says that they planned this handbook and the time frame in partnership with various religious heads in Rwanda and agreed to 6 months as the actual time to prepare before the wedding, so that couples take marriage as a responsibility instead of getting married because they saw others get married. Thank you so much for your company. I'm Jane Mutoni. Bye for now.